Hi everybody, welcome back. Thanks so much for tuning in. It's a hot August morning here, so we're going to try to get this tip in before we reach 100 degrees. So this week I'd like to discuss something that I really enjoy teaching. I work a lot with my students on this subject, and it's one that I get asked about quite often. And the subject is anticipation. So if we learn to anticipate correctly, we can take small little clues from the opponent to give us a little bit of an advantage in each of the points. So we're going to discuss some of those finer points right here. Okay everybody, so I'm going to give you a couple of examples of anticipation to give you a better idea of how we can sort of guess and gamble what the opponent's going to do back based on the shot that we've given to them. So the first example is this. I've received a very short ball on my forehand. I can feel confident that I'm going to hit it very aggressively and put my opponent into some trouble. So before I even wait to see what my opponent is going to do on their response to my shot, I start moving in. I'm going to anticipate that my opponent's going to hit back a short ball, and I'm going to capitalize on that by being at the net, and I can hit the next ball to the other side of the court. Another example of anticipation would be this. Let's say in this scenario my opponent is at the net and I've hit a very nice low ball to his or her shoe tops. I know that they're hitting up from a defensive position. They're hitting from very far below the top of the net. I know the next ball is going to be defensive coming off of their racket. So the moment that I strike that ball, getting them down low, I start to move in anticipating that weaker or shorter ball. So right away I'm in an offensive situation the moment the ball leaves my racket and I'm adjusting my position. Now let's get a little bit more specific to certain opponents. Certain opponents, or most opponents, are going to give you visual clues or visual cues as to what they're going to do with the tennis ball. For example, many people will line up their shoulders this way, meaning they're going to hit the shot in that direction. Maybe they'll line up over a little bit more this way, meaning they're going to hit the ball over in that direction. Or they might be hitting off of their rear foot, and the racket face all of a sudden opens up. That's going to indicate the ball is going to be very high off of their racket. So in your mind, you can flip the switch. You can anticipate that they're going to hit the ball high. Lastly, certain people generally only have a certain amount of weapons in their arsenal. Maybe the backhand only goes cross court. So you can anticipate that maybe when you're at the net and you can poach on them. Another one might be anytime you come to the net, they always hit the shot down the line for the pass. So after you've played a couple points against them, you realize that is their tendency. You can anticipate that that's their favorite shot. You move over early and one of two things happens. Either one, you get the shot and you make the winning volley, or you force them to hit to the other side of the court where they're not as comfortable. So those are a couple of good examples on anticipation. So what I'd like you guys to do as you go out there on the court, this is a pretty advanced subject and it might take a little while to get used to anticipating. But as you're out on the court, I want you to start to look for patterns of your opponents, and I want you to start to look for situations where you've hit an aggressive shot. And if your opponent is off balance or lunging or leaning to the side, anticipate that they're going to hit the next ball very short. You're going to get a head start to putting the next ball away. You're going to look like a hero, but more importantly, you're gearing yourself towards knowing exactly what your opponent's going to do based on certain scenarios. So please let me know how it works. I'm going to be throwing some other videos out there on anticipation, as it is a very advanced subject, but I think if you really delve into it, you're going to get some great rewards. So have fun. Let me know what you think.